During my time at the centre, I've been lucky to meet quite a few different people, celebrities. I met Walt Cunningham from Apollo 7, who was one of my favourites. Chance to interview him and take him on a bit of a tour around the galleries, which was really nice. Really enjoyed that. David Jason, Helen Sharman, Tim Peake, Princess Anne. But probably my favourite was when we brought the mission control team over. So Si Liebergott, Dutch von Eemfred, Bill Moon and Jerry Griffin, and because a lot of work went into bringing them over to America from America to celebrate Apollo 10, and we got to spend a lot of time with them, and they were just really great guys, amazing stories, really nice people, really affable and very humble about what they'd achieved, but you know, they lived it. They were there during Apollo and Apollo 13 and all the rest of it, putting humans on the moon, and yeah, I think that was a real highlight for me.
I mean, I've heard some amazing stories from actors, from scientists, from astronauts. I've been extremely lucky. You know, I've met people like Chris Hadfield and Buzz Aldrin, and they've been amazing. But Jerry Griffin and sitting and talking to him about his experiences and seeing the passion of the people that made that moment in time, that moment in history happen, I think for me was the highlight so far.
I think one of my favourite stories, we had the president of Antigua and Barbuda came to visit. And Charlie Isham and I were the hosts for the day. I think Charlie was relatively new, and I said, come on, Charlie, let's see, you join me and let's see how we get on.
I think it was my first or second week. Maybe it was slightly later than that, but I hadn't been here very long. And I remember Chaz came up to me and my colleague Hannah and asked us if we'd help him to escort some visitors around the centre. And it turned out it was the president of Barbados. Oh no, hang on. The president of Tobago and Barbuda. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. So we were walking around the Space Centre and I remember thinking, is this normal? Does this normally happen at the Space Centre? I've not been here very long. This is kind of a bit of a baptism of fire, but it was very interesting.
Full day with a very humble and delightful guy. And that's where you finish the day with a smile on your face again, thinking, well, that was just great. That was just a really, really nice day.
Well, I've been really quite lucky. I've met various astronauts over the years, but I think my favourite astronaut has to be Buzz Aldrin, because not many people say they've met the second man that has walked on the moon.
Buzz Aldrin was a highlight. I remember I ended up sitting on his table for having lunch, so that was a nice treat. Also introduced him as he came into the planetarium show. So all night before I was terrified that I was going to call him Buzz Lightyear, we kept having to joke about. And so in my head I'm going, Buzz Aldrin, Buzz Aldrin, Buzz Aldrin. And
public service broadcasting. We did their album launch here. It's one of my all-time favourite events that I put together. That happened right in the heart of the exhibition. A Race for Space was our album, and we had 2 gigs on consecutive nights in the hub. Where we brought in, the full production team, and we had the band here, and all their amazing fans, their loyal fans, came here to the Space Centre as well.
I'm very fortunate that when we make the planetarium shows, we get to meet some very talented actors from all over the world. So we've had people from Star Wars, from Harry Potter, some kind of great films, great British actors and American actors. And it's always a privilege to kind of work with them. They really kind of breathe life into the scripts and add that personality, and it's often the final touch to our shows before they go out to the world.